Next expectation. This one is a juicy one. People say that uni is the best time to find your future wife and husband. One expectation that really blew my mind is that I thought exchange was the only overseas experience that we would get to have. But in the end, there's so many opportunities, whether it's organized by the Global Relations Office or organized by the different faculties, right? I realized also that exchange is also not about just freezing your cap and having fun, but it's also a great learning opportunity. So one thing I joined was this thing called CDLP. I completely forgot what it stands for. But it's something like you initiate your own charity project and you do it in an overseas place.
Is it business school or?
No, it's not organized by business school.
Okay.
So for me, I only joined it because, to be fair, I only knew about it because it was a requirement for my scholarship and a couple of other scholarships as well, to lead a project, not just to be a participant in the project. And that's how I started a project about waste management in Tangerang in Indonesia. It's a small village near Jakarta, and we have to do the recce trip, the planning, interview them to find out what they need, recruiting our own members for end-to-end process, fundraising even. Right, so we have to do all these work by ourselves, and I thought that overseas experience isn't just about what I thought it would be. At first I thought, it's just overseas experience in uni is just having fun, meet friends from overseas.
Yeah, like just study.
Don't need study.
Overseas.
Yeah, like hop around different cities, conquer 14 countries in 3 months.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But then I realized my overseas experience is super meaningful. I got to really help myself, grow in empathy, initiate and lead a team of 14 people in a charity project, which I thought gave me so much more learnings than I would have expected from a typical exchange.
Yeah, I think one more point as well, right, is actually in the program that she's in right now, NUS Overseas College, is the exchange that I was looking forward to before university, because I heard about it from my seniors, right? But she's doing a local one. So NUS Overseas College actually allows you to have overseas internship and also study some modules like
entrepreneurship related.
Yeah, like Silicon Valley, Shanghai, Beijing. I think we wanted to go to Shanghai or Beijing, right?
Yeah, I wanted to go Beijing
like last year.
New York, yeah.
Yeah, but COVID hit, and right now we're not certain, whether we can go overseas, unfortunately. So I have zero overseas experience, but I have one very interesting one where all the overseas students come to NUS, and
that's so cool.
That is the NUS Summer Enterprise Program.
And you're still in touch with some of them, right?
Yes, correct. So just a little bit about it, right? They are going to have next run soon. Sign up already closed, right? You can sign up for next one next year. But I found it very meaningful because it's like there's over 200 students from many different ASEAN countries. It's an entrepreneurship program, and I get to clear my modules as well. And then I'm like the OGL, right, where I was leading a group of ASEAN scholars and students.
So how long is this program?
It's only 2 weeks actually. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I got 4 MCs, right? I made a lot of friends.
Wow, fair. I wish I knew about it by then.
Yeah, and you get to tour around Singapore, and it's a finale night. It's really one of the best things that happened to me.
So how do you find out when the recruitment opens? Is it through your NUS email?
Yeah, so one tip, right, for current students or incoming students, do read your emails, right? I think
I didn't do that much also. That's why I didn't know about this.
I did a lot in year one. My friend was asking me like, hey, I said, do you know about this? Do you know about this deal? They were like, I don't know. I said, you don't read. Then they said, yeah, they don't read. So I was just the one of few that actually read, but honestly, right now I don't really read already. I read a lot in year one, but after year 2, year 3, I don't really read already.
Bad example, don't learn.
Yeah. Don't read at all, so.
Hey, I do, okay? And that's how I found out for my second overseas experience, which is called the STEER trip. Also forgot what STEER really means, but it's organized by Global Relations Office, right? My trip was a bit expensive because we went to Israel and Jerusalem. Israel, as well as Jordan. Yeah, so each STEER trip has a different theme, and mine was entrepreneurship, and that's why I applied for it. It cost me about almost $5,000 for the whole trip for over 15 days, but it was really worth it, very well spent. We visited places like the national banks, the universities, different startups, and we spoke to quite a few directors, professors, and startup founders over there, and it was very interesting. You get immersed into their culture where they are very risk-taking. We also get to sightsee a bit at iconic places like the Wailing Wall in Jerusalem, and also and all those iconic spots in Israel and Jordan. So, and everyone there is quite like-minded. You have year 1 to year 4. I was year 1 back then, I think. And then you have master students joining the program as well. So very, very interesting.
And speaking of cost, right, maybe one thing that might be useful for you guys, right, is to kind of like try to estimate how much you need, right? Any exchange generally about 10 to 15k.
Is it?
Right,
I think
overseas.
so. I think so. Also depends on your
10 to 15K.
spending habits.
Yeah, which country, as well as you want to travel every week, right? But I think generally, right, it's about 10 to 15k. And if you go NOC though, it's a positive surplus because you get money from working overseas.
Yeah, you get your internship salary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, these are the few things you can look out for in terms of overseas experience while in university. More in NUS though, yeah.
Here's one expectation that some of you guys might have heard of. There are 3 S: social life, sleep, and studies, and you can only choose 2 out of 3 at one point in time.
Yes.
Reality is...
Ben, tell me the truth. Did you sacrifice any of it?
Yes, it's true!
Which did you
It's
sacrifice?
totally true. Okay, I think at the start of year 1, right, because we have a lot of SUs, which means we can pass through some of our modules and our grades don't count, and this is only applicable mostly in NUS and for only selected modules in SMU and NTU, right? And that's why I chose to sacrifice sleep and studies a lot more and did too much social life. Sleep like 3-4 hours, studies, I mean, I tried, you know.
Yeah.
So I think I sacrificed 1.5.
You're doing a lot of things. You're doing a lot of things like, you know, DJing,
Yeah,
CCA,
a lot of stuff.
hall.
Yeah, so I had a lot of social life, not so much of the other 2 S.
Yeah.
How about you? Which one did you sacrifice?
I think for me wise, sleep I did sacrifice. I think it's quite balanced throughout for me. But I did sleep significantly less than compared to JC at the first year.
Yeah.
But I personally I don't believe in trying to balance all 3 areas. I try to integrate everything together. So instead of school work life balance, it's more like school work life integration because I was also in CCAs and doing work outside and in school, and I try to integrate all my interests together. So my social is work, my work is school. Yeah, and that's why I joined NUS Entrepreneur Society as well. Because I'm interested in entrepreneurship, and it's something I'm going to do outside of school anyway.
Yeah, and that's how we first met, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. I think now with COVID also, right, it's so much easier to try to achieve the 3 S's because there's honestly not too much social life. How much Zoom,
True.
fun.
Don't need to travel anymore.
Yeah,
So you can sleep more.
and clubs are closed, so that means you can sleep more, clock your 7-8 hours, and spend the time, studying and catching up on sleep. Next expectation. This one is a juicy one. People say that uni is the best time to find your future wife and husband.
Is it
Did
true?
you?
No, look at me right now.
No, not for me also. So I think we're still trying to figure this out.
Still searching. It's a reality that there's no...
Sad reality.
Yep, so that is the end of our second part of the entire series of expectations versus reality of university life. I hope that has been helpful to you. We have talked about in the second part of this video, the social life, having to sacrifice, do we really need to? As well as the overseas experience, internships and career, as well as the dating life.
Let us know if our sharing and experience are helpful to you. Leave it down in the comments below and we would love to talk to you more about it. And of course, if you have enjoyed this video, do give us a like, share and hit subscribe. And we'll see you next time again for another video. Bye!